Walking to the bedroom where the window was still open a few inches to let in the breeze, Kessler shivered. The cold air only served to increase the shaking of his body. He slammed the window, then proceeded to search throughout the house, closing every open window and making certain that no insects were crawling about the floors or walls or ceilings or furniture. Changing into pajamas and leaving the bedroom light protectively on, he flopped back on his hard bed. 7 minutes later, Richard Kessler slept. And Kessler dreamed. The dream made him stir, moan. It was a dream he had suffered before, a nightmare the origins of which lay back in his childhood, and which had nurtured and grown in the succeeding years. As always, he dreamed of spiders, hundreds of spiders, of all types, spiders with enormous bodies crawling upon his naked flesh with their obscenely hairy legs. Hungry spiders. He screamed from his dream world and into the real world so loud that his eyelids fluttered open. As so often before, the dream lingered like a hazy reality, superimposed over the lines of his bedposts and over the designs of his crazy quilt bedspread. He was cold, sweaty, quaking from the nightmare experience. But then he began to breathe normally again, for the dream had ended, and never returned again on the same night. But had the dream ended? Was he truly awake? Though he was certain that the dream had been temporarily driven out of him, there was something moving lightly across his body. He could feel it creeping through the loose-fitting material of his pajamas. The sensation was more real than any he had ever experienced in nightmare. Kessler raised his head and looked, then shrieked, for, with staring eyes, he saw them, crawling like 8-legged tanks clothed in brown fur. Spiders were flopping up over the sides of his bed. My God, I didn't look under the bed! And along his supine form, his legs and arms and chest. More of them appeared over the edge of the bed, dark and shaggy against the crazy quilt. Tarantulas with hook-like fangs portentously open. Something else covered him. He saw the diaphanous fabric that followed the contours of his body. The cold tenacity of the webbing trapped him against the bed. He writhed beneath the intricate webwork. The misty wetness felt loathsome upon his hands and feet. There was no question that he possessed the strength to rip those webs, but that required movement, and he was too horrified to move. For the implications of the webbing overwhelmed him. He was entrapped like a wriggling fly, awaiting. Kessler remembered reading that the bite of the tarantula cannot harm a human being. Yet the mere sight and feel of these repugnant demons virtually paralyzed him. Tarantulas pinched at his body with their drooping fangs, forcing more screams from his mouth. But those screams were only slight when compared to the shrieks that erupted from his mouth when he observed the coup de grace that was materializing at the foot of his bed.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.